lights coming on. Here we go, 5 lights. Here we go, 5 lights. 2 Saubers on the front of the grid. We got 5 lights at Spa, and away we go. We're lights out, and away we go at Suzuka. Up the hill at the moment, the Ferrari of Breville all over the back of Vance, goes to the outside. There's going to be a drag race. I think Electrician's going to get involved as well here. They're going to be 3 wide as they go up towards Lake Com. Electrician go between the 2 of them. They bang wheels, and Vance gets it at the moment. Revo trying to hang it around the outside. He has the inside for the left-hander, and he pushes Electrician off the track. But Etnik TRN crosses the line. He is our champion of this tournament. They run through turn 8 absolutely side by side, and I think he might just have this sort of side by side on the exit. They're going to be side by side, I think, all the way up towards the far chicane. Who's going to blink here? Vance on the outside, Coffee on the inside. Vance just about does. So it is a hat-trick for Edge. Well done, Edge. He gets himself 3 wins out of 3, and I think that does confirm worldwide as the winners of this event.
Epic TRN has really quickly closed that gap to Rufo. He is definitely...
Oh, mistake from Etty!
Almost!
Just about saved it, my goodness.
And now they might make it 3 wide into the left hand.
3 wide.
Oh, Michael on the inside, and Coffee stocks him behind at first.
Oh, still 3 wide on the exit down the Vale, and wow, Coffee has to back out of it, and Speedy looks at the moment like he's going to get the move done. So here we go for the lead. Etty down the inside, looking for the lead on track. Into turn number 3, side by side they go. Comanza has the inside for the left-hander. Eddie's going to try the switch back. He's going to get a little bit of overlap before the little left-hand kink onto the DRS straight, and he's going to have DRS as well as they head down towards Brooklands. Oh, all the way around the outside in the right-hander. Oh, he just about gets that done. Good stuff from Comanzo. SLR with a fantastic win. SLR are the champions. They inherit the crown from WWRL, who won the last one, and they will be defending as we move on to the next F1 tournament. The lights coming on.
Let's go, boys! Ocean Chief here, and we are live for the SLR EGL Tournament Qualifier. We have Slash LP, Meritich, Otto, and Bayfield will all be trying out for an SLR seat in the EGL Tournament this Friday. Slash LP and Keyboard Manson have already been selected, and I've got the call up. So this tournament, which will be 5 laps at each of the circuits featuring in the tournament, which are as follows: Austria, China, Spain, in that order. So whoever comes out top will get the final seat. So far the team we've put together for SLR is Slash LP, Keyboard Magnuson, and Bonus Cigar. So 1 seat is up for grabs, so let's see how these fellas do. And I've done the rookie move of actually not hitting spectate, and still managed to qualify 4 somehow without posting a time. So as I said, this will be 5 laps at each of the races that will feature in the tournament. So this should be quick and nasty. Hopefully we'll see some good racing, and hopefully we'll see a clear contender take that seat for the tournament. Now I am in the Ferrari, so I am going to have to quickly retire my car so that I can then commentate on the race ahead. So bear with me a memento. Shout out to the 8 people watching. One of those is me, so I'm technically saying hello to myself. Good luck to everybody. As I say, I will be pulling over to the side and retiring this car, hopefully staying out everybody's way. Oh dear, that was really stupid. Anyway, so here we go. Autobus Farrer is in the lead. He's got 0.5 already. 0.5 gap already to second place Keeper Magnussen, so Keeper Magnussen already has his seat in the tournament, so Meritic is the next contender back. He's holding on to the back of Keyboard Magnussen for the time being, but it looks like Autobus is just pulling away at an extraordinary rate. Is already 1.1 second ahead of the second place driver, Keyboard Magnussen. 1.2, the gap increases. Let's just have a look back. Keyboard Magnussen is under pressure from Meritic. Meritic will want to get past Keyboard Magnussen as soon as possible. Let's ride on board with Keyboard with Meritic as they go into the final 2 corners. Austria is such a flowing, high-speed circuit. Autobus, of course, setting the fastest lap in the first lap. Oh, and Meritic taking a big cut on the first corner and actually picks up a 3-second time penalty, so a bad start for Meritic to this race, although he still is in third. Tries to go around the outside of Keyboard Magnussen, but Keyboard Magnussen just able to keep the car wide enough and protects the position for now. Keyboard Magnussen trying to guard that inside line. Will Meritic be able to go and take the wider line, get a better exit? Looks like Keyboard Magnussen's done all he needs to have done for now. This isn't really that good an overtaking opportunity. But of course Meritic will get the DRS on the start-finish straight and also the second straight after the first corner. Autobus continues to extend his lead at the front. He's got 2 seconds gap to Keyboard Magnussen. He's set a fastest lap of 106, who laid the mark down. The Autobus wants this seat for the tournament, and so far he's doing all the right things. Keyboard Magnussen just maintaining the gap at 2 seconds, but Meritic 0.6 not able to make the most of that DRS. And close up that gap, but Slash LP now is all over the back of Meritic. Both have DRS open. And Bayfield as well, holding on at the back. He's in 5th position for now, but a bit of a trend developing here, a little gaggle. Remember, we are going to be selecting the driver who will take the final seat in EGL and represent the defending champions SLR. And this is a 3-race mini tournament, so even though Autobus looks like he has this one sewn up, the points are to play for still. Who knows what will happen in China and in Spain. And Autobus himself picks up so we're seeing quite a number of drivers right now picking up time penalties. And who was that at the back? It looked like Bayfield went wide, got into the dirt, managed to save the car, but is dropping off. Oh, actually that is Slash, my error. I'm very sorry about that. That was actually Slash. So Slash has dropped right off, and it's not looking good for him right now in 5th position, but there has been, Meritic is attacking Keyboard Magnussen now. This race isn't over just yet. We are on lap 4, so only 2 laps to go. So if Meritic wants to do this, he's going to have to do this now. Keyboard Magnussen has the inside line. Meritage keeping close on the back end of that car, and will he take a look down the inside? He's thinking about it, and he goes for it. Oh, what a move! Daring, very daring, but in the end did not pay off that time. But he is close enough to make good use of DRS right now. Let's see as he closes up, and he will also get DRS after this corner, so once he stays as close as possible. Stay within track limits. Actually, that is not true. He got a 2-second time penalty. But he's going around the outside. Hardsuit defending the inside hard. And late braking from both drivers. Hardsuit just trying to squeeze him, but Meritage does all he needs to do to take that position. But Meritage has a massive 4-second gap. Oh, and Kieber Magnussen goes up the inside. He's able to get the switcheroo going there. Some great driving from Kieber Magnussen there. Stamping his 40 on this race. Wants that second position. And this is a good test for Meritage and also Basefield. Basefield hanging in there in 4th position. Is Meritage going to go for this move this time? He thinks better of it this time. He learned from the previous lap, and Autobus takes the win. Kieber Magnussen holds on to 2nd and Meritage in 3rd, but let's see how the time penalties play out in the final standings. So Bayfield gets himself up to 3rd. Not a bad drive from Bayfield, good showing from him. So we have Autobus 1st, 2nd, Kieber Magnussen. So the big loser there was Meritage, who dropped down to effectively last position. And we move on now to China. And it's one-shot quali, so we will have a chance to see what the guys are able to put on the board in terms of lap time. It'll be one shot, so it's one and done. Man, I can't go spectate, damn it. Damn you! The guys are eager to go, so we head to China, and we will have dry race conditions throughout the tournament. So these settings that we're seeing in this lobby are going to mirror those of the actual tournament. However, there will be an increase in the actual length of each race. It'll be 25%, but there'll still be one shot quali, and it will be dry, and there will be a formation lap. I wish I could change to spectator, but oh no. New. And I think, yeah, I might as well use this opportunity to show how bad I can drive on China. So here we go, and this first corner in Fedley. Flat out in their approach, using engine braking to brake all the way down, and as you can see I got that completely wrong. Just trying to feed the nose into the corner, and this sections, or this corner sequence is quite slow, but the exit is crucial for a good sector time. Brake points 100 meter board, and we got it a little bit wrong on the apex there, but good exit. And just turn the car in as the curb ends on the right hand side, and then stay close to the curb, which is not what I did there. And then through this sequence of corners you can carry a lot of speed. So basically don't do what I'm doing right now. This is not a good lap, and as if to put an exclamation mark on that sentence, I descended through the gravel. This fast right-hander, of course, is a crucial one because it leads on to this long straight as DRS, and a good tactic here is to switch up to overtake. So we head into the final hairpin and final corner. And really, you want to be using as much track as possible, and that's not what I did. And subsequently, I qualified 6th. So not a good showing from Ocean Chief, but you get the general idea. So let's see what lap times the rest of the drivers were able to put on the board. So Basefield actually goes first with a 131 flat, Meritich second, not far behind, 0.2 off. Autobus, who won the first race, is sitting in third. Keeper Magnussen in fourth with a 131. Slash LP with a 132, and Captain Slow himself with a 140. But I will be retiring from this race as it gets off to a start. You will be glad to know. A 140. That's pretty much safety car pace. But hey, you know, slow and steady wins the race apparently. And we are go for the Chinese Grand Prix. Retire from the session, but we have a good view down into the first corner as looks like all cars made it through successfully. Basefield is maintaining the position at the front. Keeper Magnussen it takes a position from Meritich, but there it looks like a bit of a lag, or screen freeze was an issue there for some drivers. Basefield remains in first position, and there is quite a dive from Autobus, and he manages to take that position from Meritich. That was a very late dive, a bit questionable, but it seemed to work. But Meritich is having none of it. Oh, and Meritich is tapped at the back, and Meritich is going off and also takes slash as well. So that is unfortunate for those drivers. There may be, I would say there would be damage done to Slash's car at the very least. And Meritich now down into fourth, but up front we've got Basefield. Oh, Slash is out. He has retired from the session. That is unfortunate to see. Basefield is under a lot of pressure now from Keeper Magnussen. Will Keeper Magnussen get it onto braking? He thinks about it, thinks better off it. Slash LP has left the session, so effectively has given up his hope of getting a race seat for EGL. Basefield sets the fastest lap of the session, but it was the first lap, so he heads the field into the first corner. And Meritich falling back a little bit, may have had damage with that initial squabble. 3.7 is the gap to the guys at the front, so he may, if he's able to push on and hasn't got too much damage, he may be able to catch these guys as they will start to battle soon, I would imagine. He's right on board with Autobus as he navigates this sequence of corners in sector 2. Let's carry as much speed as possible. Missed his apex there on the exit, but carried a lot of speed through there nonetheless. Just so late on the braking is Autobus. He's closed up a little bit on these guys in front. Meritich falling off at the back, but Keeper Magnussen 0.5 behind Basefield. DRS is not active yet, so we will see that come into play in the next lap onwards. Basefield is holding his own out front. So the question is, will he be able to hold off the strong challenge from Keeper Magnussen once the DRS goes live, which will be once they cross the line here. Keeper Magnussen just getting it a little bit squirrely on the exit. And that will lose him time, but he's still within the DRS gap. Autobus in third, sets the fastest lap time. He also will have DRS, so effectively Keyboard Mindson and Autobus will get DRS, and Basefield may fall victim on the straight, if not before. And Meritich has DNF'd, so he is out of this race for now. There we go, Autobus is staying close. He wants this seat, I can smell it. Autobus has told me that this is not one of his, well, I think his actual words were one of his least favorite circuits to drive on, but he is holding his own for now. He's holding on to the back and almost mirrors the slide out of the exit there for Keyboard Mindson ahead of him. Keyboard Mindson a little bit of a lock up in the brakes. Keyboard Mindson, obviously he is the SLR keyboard warrior, representing the keyboard nation. And now DRS is open for both Keyboard Mindson and Autobus, but Autobus seems to have a lot more top speed heading down into turn 1. Keyboard Mindson's got the inside line covered, just makes his car wide enough and holds off the pass from Autobus. Keyboard Mindson going a little bit wide there, might have picked up a warning for that. He's extended the track limits. Autobus now DRS to the start finish straight, head into the first corner, and Keyboard Mindson is down to third, so Keyboard Mindson is being pressed hard here by both Autobus and Basefield. Basefield is pulled out a gap of 1.3 now. Is Autobus going to be able to pull that lap time down? He has got 2 laps in which to do so. The gap now is 1.4 with Keyboard Mindson 0.5 behind. Basefield obviously likes this track a little bit. It's working for him for the meantime. That gap is creeping downwards. 1.3 now. Right on board as we exit the fast left-hander there into sector 3. A real slow turn in here. It's down to third. And then just want to get as close to the curb here as possible, and then run up to the opposite curb. And Autobus will indeed just about have DRS, so let's see how much he is able to close up on Basefield. That's 0.8, 0.9, so it looks like for now Basefield is doing just enough, but Autobus remains in that DRS zone. Will Basefield be able to get out of there for the start finish straight? Questionable. Oh, Autobus does get DRS, so we are heading down into turn 1. Autobus, another fastest lap. That is going to put pressure on Basefield. Autobus swings the car in there. So smooth. And keeping it tidy, just a little bit of a lock up there, but nothing too bad. 0.8 behind now, so Basefield knows if he makes a mistake, Autobus is right there to capitalize on it. But right now, Basefield is keeping his head down, getting on with the job at hand. Mindson falling right off the pace here, 3.9 down now. So he was hanging with these two, but now he's out of contention, although will still finish on the podium. And Autobus has got the gap down to 0.6. Is this going to be enough? He is going to now head on to the start finish straight. It's all about this exit, and it looks like he got a good one. Basefield goes very wide on that corner, and I don't know if that's going to work out for him. And I imagine Autobus is going to line up for a dive down the inside, possibly. Basefield thinks about, yep, Basefield is guarding that inside line hard. Oh, and Basefield locks up and goes flying straight across the hairpin. Basefield able to salvage second position there. Obviously Basefield is cracked under the pressure. Autobus takes the win, 2 wins in a row. This is looking like Autobus's tournament right now, and looking like he may well get that SLR EGL seat for the tournament. Excuse me. So we will have a look at the points right now, and I believe Autobus has got a perfect 50 from 2 races. So let's see who's in second and third, and if they are within range of being able to possibly steal this top spot in this tournament. I suspect no. So yeah, we see Autobus 50 points, Basefield 33. So if Autobus does not finish and Basefield finish first, I believe he could well take this. So very interesting. So Autobus just really needs to cross the finish line here. But as previously mentioned, he has already told me that he does not like this circuit too much. And again, I'm just going to run around the track. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to be as pacey as these guys. Yes, I have a shed ton of setups. Most of them from when the game first came out, so probably could do with a bit of tweaking. Let's see how I fare. On Spain, not a great track for me. The sector 3 is especially difficult to navigate, very slow, technical. Bring it just after the 100-meter board. Trying to thread it through there. The both apex is getting the shortest line between the two. And here it's breaking for the yellow Pirelli bridge. And as you can see, I'm not really too confident with that. I lost a lot of time there. This is the last 100 here as you just feed the car in third gear. And up to 6. Quickly down to 4. Just again threading the car through the middle of the chicane. Just to lift off the throttle and into the DRS zone. Make sure we want to brake around about the 100-meter board, and I think I maybe overdid it there, and we're into sector 3, so we didn't lose the car there. If the car is not pointed in a straight line to that particular section, you are in trouble. And I've got this all kinds of wrong. That's a wide line if ever I saw one, and I somehow managed to qualify in third position, so the driver's not able to qualify due to invalid laps. So I will actually, I'm going to start this race and see how I get on. I imagine terribly, so as soon as I lose sight of the guys ahead, I will retire and we will spectate the race. So 121 there, it's a terrible lap time for myself. Obviously I went wide there in sector 3, but even with that I would probably still be a second or two off the pace. And it's all to play for. Basefield is the man to watch. He needs to win this race, and Autobus needs to not win, so hopefully I'm not the one that takes him out. P3. I've practically won the race, / I should just, you know what I mean. I should be in the tournament. EGL safety car. Let's go! Alrighty. So as I say, I'm gonna actually start this race, but I don't want to get in anybody's way, so I may just purposely have a bit of a slow start to this one. And no idea who's actually behind me right now. Hope it's not Basefield. Some live on there. Oh, got a head on the back. That's not good. I should let these guys pass, really. Yep. So we are in a good position to watch this battle ahead as Basehill gets knocked off the track. We're caught up in a bit of a tangle there, so we've got Maritich ahead of us in third. And Basehill retires, so he's effectively given up, and it looks like Autobus. This is going to be a tribute race for him as he just needs to cross the finish line. In fact, he doesn't even need to cross the finish line. But this is a new one. Commentating while in a race. Where would you get it? SLR, you. Oh dear. Yeah. And into the dreaded sector 3. I do not like this part of the track. So slow and technical. So easy to lose the car in these lower gears. You really need a lot of confidence, and you can clearly see that I don't have that right now, but that was not too bad an exit. It's still kept sight of Maritich ahead of me, but the guys are pulling ahead. A 122 from them, a 126 from me, so not a great start from the old boy, and I may well retire soon as I'm starting to lose sight of the guys ahead. In fact, I think I will retire because I want to catch the rest of this race. So let's go to the front. I believe Keeper Magnuson is at the front. Yes, he is indeed, but I hear a Williams right behind. Oh, very fast. He took a lot of speed into that chicane. A lot of courage needed for that. And these guys are very tight together, so we may well see some good racing here for the next 4 laps. No intervals as yet. Yeah, we're not getting any interval times, but we can clearly see the gaps are small between the 3 drivers, and just to illustrate that, every driver as he crossed the line got the fastest lap at Maritich. Yeah, Maritich is the fastest on track at the moment, but he's 1 second behind Autobus, who's 0.5 behind Keyboard Magnuson. It's quite a difficult track to pass on. There's not many passing opportunities apart from the start-finish straight. Autobus is putting a lot of pressure on Hartzell right now. Falling back a little bit now. Hartzell looks like he's got into a bit of a rhythm here through the middle sector and down into sector 3. We got Maritich hanging on to the back of these boyos. Closing up a lot. You can see the concertina effect there in full action. Looks like Keyboard Magnuson makes a bit of a mistake, goes very wide. Autobus knows the DRS will be available to him as he approaches the start finish line. Keyboard Magnuson going wide again, would have got a warning for that. Needs to be careful. He will pick up a time penalty, and as we were discussing, Autobus has access to DRS. Hartzell, of course, defending the inside line. Will Autobus have done enough? It looks like big contact. Hartzell sent out wide, and Maritich also looks to benefit from that. And these guys are running so close together. Wheel banging happening. Hello, Danny Co. How does it go, my friend? My gammon loving mother fudger. Keyboard Magnuson hanging on the inside here. Maritich picks up a time penalty, but it's not putting him off as they go through a number of corners side by side. But it's Maritich who comes out in first, well, in second position. Oh, Maritich going a little bit wide there. to this long right-hander that will cost him a few tenths, I would imagine. Autobus now got a 2-second lead. We can see that lead ahead of Meritage there. Oh, and Horsey getting a little bit of a slide on there as Meritage goes wide into the gravel and almost takes out Horsey. So Meritage is effectively, yeah, he's out of this race. So this is a 2-man race now with Horsey 2.5. It looks like it's in the bag. So let's ride on board with the EGL Tournament seat winner. He's earned his spot in the team. Of course, when the tournament begins, it will be driver versus driver, but also league versus league, so the points will be tallied up for each league in between each race. So there is an element of team play that will be in effect, and that's something that every driver taking part will need to take into account. In the first tournament SLR took part in, we didn't really do much tactics wise, and it went against us as our drivers were fighting against each other, and it ended up costing us points. So this is something that the guys need to take into account as we see Autobus far crossing the line in first position, and he wins the seat for the EGL tournament. And Danny asking what happened to Slash, and I would think the answer to that is slashed and burned. He cracked under the pressure. But there is still opportunity to race in the tournament as a reserve. We do need standby drivers in case someone drops out. So the EGL Tournament SLR seats have been picked. We've got Danny Co, we've got, I was going to say Slash, we've got Danny Co, we've got Keyboard Magnuson, we've got Boneless Cigar, and our fourth choice is going to be Autobus, who is new to SLR but is already just proving himself. You did crack under pressure. You did. I saw with my own eyes. No, you did well. You really did well. Like, you could, hold on, 22 points? No, you didn't do well. You should have continued on, is what you should have done. You should never give up, dude. That's what you should do. Even without a wing. We don't need wings. Okay. SLR EGL team do not need wings. You heard it here first. That's what I want to hear from my EGL SLR tournament drivers. I can't be arsed. And with that, I'm going to call it quits on the stream. Thanks for joining us. That was just for a bit of fun. But we've got our fourth guy picked for the tournament. So thanks for watching, and congrats to Autobus. And we will now start selecting the seats, or not the seats, the teams for each league. Stay posted for more news on that tonight. Catch you later.